Our next guest faced the loss of his wife at a challenging time when the couple had 2 young children. He's turned his recovery from that adversity into a personal mission to help others as a personal growth coach and motivational speaker. John Golub of Smithville has also published this book about his story. John, the title of this book, My Ice Cream Sundae, where does that come from?
It's special. It's in the book. It's a special day when later on in life I got married, remarried, and that revolves around that occasion and how that came about.
So tell me about this adversity. It was a very difficult time. Your kids were how old when your first wife passed away?
They were only 6 and 7 at the time.
How did you get through all of this? Was there great community support?
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of support, family, friends, strangers, community support for sure. Like people drop off a meal at the house when struggling and just trying to figure out how to go on from there. But this is the type of thing that goes on, and people out of the woodwork, people that you don't even know, which is incredibly touching. That they come and provide support and help those in need at the time.
You are going to be speaking later on this month at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre, and that's something that you've developed out of your own personal life story. How did you get to that point where you were able to stand in front of a crowd and talk to people about this?
It just kind of evolved on its own. That's the thing. The more people I found talking about my struggles and trying to learn from other people and their struggles, because we all have a story, we all have things that we go through. So when I was having a hard time, it was very beneficial for me to talk to other people and learn from them. And then I started evolving my own type of thoughts and how I look at my situation and things that I'm doing that are helping me and things that I'm not doing that really are working against me. And so working through these types of things, I would talk to people, and then I started finding myself on the other side where I'm able to help others. And so this is kind of how this slowly kind of kept building and taking off that way. And standing in front of people, I'm not really sure, that just kind of came on its own. And my big thing is I just really want to help those that need a hand like I did.
The speaking came before the book?
The speaking did come before the book. I started doing talks in my local area and started setting that up. And COVID came along and slowed that right down. But what I did find was people were very interested in my story and how did that go. And I think that's because they have a story and they would like to relate that. And so I put it down in a book. So that's my memoir. It's a love story. It's an inspirational story, obviously about struggle and coming out of it. And I love to share that with people to help them.
You're an electrician by trade, not a guy who used to sit down and journal all the time, and writing wasn't a part of your life. So how did you make that step?
It's amazing what you can really do when you give yourself a chance. It's just something that I wanted to do. Again, it was, I found myself speaking of my story and explaining it to people when I was able to talk about it. At first, when you go through some tough times, you may not want to talk about that, but I saw how people attached to it. So I sat down and I just started writing. And it just went from there. It wasn't easy. There were times where I did stop, and some stuff is very difficult to write about. So sometimes people don't even want to recall some bad experiences that they had, but to sit down and think about how you're going to write about it, I had to go right back into that experience. But I did it. I put it together.
January 28th, it's an afternoon performance, or I guess appearance, and it's also a fundraiser for who?
Yeah, it's for the West Lincoln Community Center. So that is our local center, and they provide a lot of great help for the community, so I wanted to help them out.
John, the book looks great. I'm going to try and dig into this soon, and good luck on the 28th at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre. Tickets are available through their website, and also the book can be purchased through Amazon.ca. Thanks for joining us today, John.
All right, thank you very much, Mike.